Sunny Hostin's New Year's resolution had to have been to top her previous levels of stupidity. So The View had their first episode of the new year, and as you guys heard in the intro clip, Sunny Hostin made the claim that January 6th is one of the worst atrocities ever, up there with the Holocaust and slavery. Now, obviously, to make a claim like that shows a level of stupidity and unseriousness that most people couldn't even dream of trying to reach if they tried. But does she not understand how disrespectful that is to the people who actually went through slavery and the Holocaust? Let's start with Sunny Hostin and her delusional take on The View, talking about the atrocities of January 6th. Watch.
What do we do?
I think we need to find moral clarity, you know, in this country. And I just remember after January 6th, you had someone like Mitch McConnell placing the blame on January 6th where it belonged, squarely on Donald Trump's shoulders. And then you started seeing people backtrack that and losing their moral center. You had Condoleezza Rice, I believe, on this very show saying, you know, we need to move on from January 6th. I say no. You don't move on, because January 6th was an atrocity. It was one of the worst moments in American history. And when you think about the worst moments in American history, you know, like World War II, things that happened, you know, like the Holocaust, chattel slavery, we need to never forget, because past becomes prologue if you forget any race.
I mean, absolutely, wow. Now, obviously, January 6th got a little bit out of hand, sure, but to compare it to 10 million people dying in horrific ways in the Holocaust and another 10 million people being enslaved for hundreds of years is just the most Trump-deranged statement anybody could make. Sunny Hostin is already in the delusional Hall of Fame, but that right there, correct me if I'm wrong, might have been her all-time worst take. And Alyssa fires back at her and basically says, Sunny, not everyone is a multi-millionaire like yourself and can worry about things like democracy. People are worried about real life issues, and the Democrats just wouldn't address them. Watch.
I have to say, I think there were warning signs, though, that we would be where we are today. And most Americans were not comfortable with January 6th. They thought it was bad. They thought it was awful. But for 4 years, they said, guys, we are hurting. The cost of living is too high. We are concerned about the border. I predicted here 6 months ago we were careening to Donald Trump's inauguration. People needed to listen that, yes, democracy matters, but if you can't pay your bills, it's hard to care about something as nebulous as democracy. And I think that the warning signs were there. And I say this with due respect to Joe Biden. I didn't disagree with a word he said in that op-ed, but people were saying, we have concern about your age. He waited till August and then gave Kamala Harris this runway to run for president. All the warning signs were there. This was Democrats. They had the chance to stop Donald Trump from being inaugurated. And here we are.
I make this point all the time, and it's even more true right now. If you believe January 6th was as bad as slavery and the Holocaust, and the American people chose to ignore it and vote for that guy, how bad must your party have been? How disastrous were their policies on the real lives of American people to where they disregarded a violent insurrection, the worst thing that's ever happened, and chose to vote for the guy instead of your party? Every time they exaggerate the magnitude of January 6th, they don't even understand that it is an own to themselves. Because if Trump was this fascist, this Nazi, this dictator, this threat to democracy that you claim that he is, and they decided that you guys were worse, that is a you problem.